Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Hood Rich Chronicles, baby. So, I want to talk about something as far as the state of the game for Marvel Rivals that is currently going on now. This is this season's drama. It seems like we basically have a telenovela with Marvel Rivals. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I know I've been gone for a little bit, but I'm back, and as I'm converting over to more YouTube videos, I'm having a much more open schedule to be able to make more. So you'll be seeing more of me around these parts. You'll be seeing me around these parts. Let me go ahead and set up my shop. So in Marvel Rivals right now, what we currently have a situation with the release of Devil Dinosaur, where it's pro players versus casual players, and from my past experience in past games and past titles like World of Warcraft, like even Prison Tale, even I've played a lot of the older games. In any case, in a lot of these games, you'll have different types of players. You'll have the player base who plays, whenever they can get time, whenever they're able to squeeze in an hour or two, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 4 hours, doesn't matter. But that player base is what's known as your casual player base. And in most games, now I'll even put it out there, in pretty much every genre, this is the bulk of your player base, is your casual gamer, the person that may or may not have that much time, but they really, 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 really enjoy your game. They play it for what it is. They'll buy a couple skins, like in Marvel Rivals, they'll buy the Luna skins, they'll buy whatever skins for their favorite character. It does not matter who, what, where, why, how. This is your meat and potatoes of your player base. This is I'm not saying that necessarily they may be the best when it comes to skill wise, but this is the bulk. This is who keeps the lights on, is the casual player base. Okay. Pro players are a different breed. Pro players are the players that live, eat, shit, breathe the game to such an extent that they specialize in it. They specialize very, very well. I, at one point, was pretty much a hardcore raider for World of Warcraft back in 1995. Not 1995, sorry. 2005. I got my years mixed up. But back in 2005, I was one of those hardcore raiding people in a hardcore raiding guild that pretty much mimicked the pro players, where all we did was literally raid for about 4 to 6 hours, depending on, what the raid schedule was. And our system pretty much was similar to a DKP system. Yeah, we was hardcore like that, doing Molten Core, Blackwing Lair. We were doing all that stuff. So the hardcore players, the pro players, they're the ones that they're about it. They love the conflict. They love the difficulty. They love the challenge. They're there for that. And that's perfectly fine. With this situation in this season, however, you have a lot of pro players complaining about Devil Dinosaur, saying that, oh, he's too strong. Oh, he disrupts the meta. Oh, he disrupts this and that. And I'm looking at them sideways like, where was this heat for Daredevil? Because I don't know about the rest of y'all, but when Daredevil first came out, that fool was a terrorist. Okay, Daredevil was lopping off people in lobbies, all while running around with those fat juicy cakes. Okay, and don't act, because I look at his costumes, I'm like, why is his booty so big? But I'm not complaining. But Daredevil was a huge threat when he came out, and he finally got a nerf. What I want to say, 2 seasons later, he finally got a substantial nerf. And even still, he's still slightly overtuned. Why? He's still highly picked. Why? Because he auto-targets. Unlike a lot of the other dive characters, Daredevil auto-targets with a simple move. Oh, look, you're right there. If you're within range, all I got to do on the keyboard is press F, and I press it one more time, and I'm automatically right on top of you. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a fun mechanic, but the damage output he has is insane. But nobody batted an eyelash at that. Okay, let's talk about another one. Elsa Bloodstone. When she came out, when I tell you, they had to hot patch her nerf because she was dominating whole lobbies. It didn't matter where you were. See, normally, like I said, I'm usually like hanging around in the practice versus AI because it's fun to chill and hang out. And I'm more of a hardcore casual. I like to play the game multiple times a day, but I usually only got like maybe 15, 30 minutes here or there, you know, while I'm working remotely, get a quick match in there. But Elsa Bloodstone, yeah, she was in there too, terrorizing lobbies, whole lobbies. Like, I'm talking it taking 3 players to take her out. That's how powerful she was. Okay. But nobody batted an eyelash. Nobody in the pro scene batted a single eyelash at Elsa Bloodstone. They just, we'll just ban her. Okay. So Devil Dinosaur comes out. And the only difference between him and the other two is he's a Vanguard. But, now the pro players are all up in arms about how he needs to be nerfed, how this has to happen, how, it's too much, it's ruining the game. I'm like, where was this heat for the duelists? Oh, I see. So basically, you guys are all about duelist syndrome. Duelist being the dominant role when it really, there shouldn't be a dominant role. It's a team-based game, and each team is the sum of its equal parts. So why are we doing this? Like, why are we doing this? And it's that duelist main content creator stuff I was warning about in the previous video. But if you haven't heard it, I'll warn you about it in this video. A lot of these content creators you see on here, a lot of really popular ones, I will not have to say their names. They know who they are. But a lot of these really popular ones are duelist mains. Okay, and they have that favoritism towards, they want the game to be played towards what they want it to be. And in particular, I was watching a particular discussion on another set of content creators, video page. Now, mind you, people could have their opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. But when this guy literally had the nerve to say, if I'm doing damage to you and I already did like 5 hits on you and Invisible Woman hits you once and you're back to full, I said, I know you fucking lying. I know. Tell me you don't play a strategist without telling me you don't play a strategist. Because he's always like, I just want that nerf just a bit. I'm like, they can't nerf healing without damage, you asshole. And yes, I don't care if you're on this channel or not. You cannot nerf the healing in Marvel Rivals without nerfing the damage. The whole reason why the healing is so overtuned is because the damage is overtuned. But a lot of these duelist main content creators don't want you to know that. They don't want to admit that. But anybody with half a brain, again, look over to Living Person 101, look over to Clouded Rio. They're saying the same thing I'm saying, is you have to nerf the damage along with the healing in order to get this game baselined. I'll even agree with something that Flats had said previously, where he said along the lines of, there needs to be just one season where they just nerf everybody. And for the longevity of the game, I can see them doing that. And I agree with that. But to sit back and complain about Devil Dinosaur, saying he's all that in a bag of chips and he's just so oppressive and oh my God, we don't know what to do. You'll adjust. You'll adjust just like you did during the strategist strike. You'll adjust just like you did when Elsa Bloodstone came out. You'll adjust just like you did when Deadpool came out. You will adjust. I'm not trying to harp on the pro players. I mean, a lot of them are really awesome. I love you, Kingsman. You awesome person. I'm so glad that things turn out well for you. So I'm not harping on pro players, but a lot of pro players need to understand the casual player base is the meat and potatoes that keeps the lights on, so they can get those fun tournaments, so they can get all those eyes on them. Who do they think is watching them? Exactly. So you have a lot of these out of touch pro players that aren't seeming to get it, but at the end of the day, they'll get it. I agree with what Rio said. The devs can wait a couple weeks. We can wait a couple weeks and see the full data, and see what's going on. And you'll see Devil Dinosaur. He's a wonderful welcome addition to the Vanguard roster. Finally, a Vanguard with a shield. Okay, we ain't seen that since Emma. And don't get me wrong, Rogue is an awesome Vanguard. I'm not saying she's not, but they could make her shield a bit longer. They could hook her up with. Come on now, it's Rogue. It's Anna Marie. Come on now. And I'm not even a Vanguard main, but I understand a lot of the stuff that they go through because I just don't get it. It's like with duelist mains, they're able to just get away with blind murder and terrorize lobbies for months on end. But the moment a strategist or a Vanguard has any iota of an edge, it's like, oh my God, burn the witch. Guys, grow up. Seriously, grow up. Like when they gave Invisible Woman her self-healing, self-shield ability, you would have thought the apocalypse started. They were making all these staged videos of look, she's one-on-one-ing that Thor. I'm like, you didn't notice that rocket in the background over there pocket healing her? You didn't notice that? And they did a nerf to shut them up. Meanwhile, she still heals. She still does well. She's still working as intended, despite your cries for nerfs. Let's nerf Daredevil. How about that? Let's nerf Iron Fist. He seems to be doing really well against Vanguards right now. Let's nerf him. Let's go ahead and nerf Spider-Man since his ultimate is doing so much great damage. Let's tone that down a couple points. See, you don't like it when the rabbit got the gun. You don't like it when the tables are turned. Well, baby, it's a team-based game. If all are equal parts, guess what they're going to do? They're going to eventually point the gun at you. So when they nerfed Ultron way back in like season 4 was like a terrible season for Ultron players. We only had one drone and the healing was chopped from like 60 down to like 35. I was like, oh. And you understand, Ultron mains, fellow Ultron mains, we were struggling. Okay, baby, I had to pick Loki back up. I was like, this is just bad. And even he was nerfed because of why? Duelist main content creators bitching and crying because they want the game catered to their perspective. And I'm like, nah, fuck you, fuck that, fuck this. Sorry, YouTube, I'm cursing, but I'm getting my point out. I'm getting my point out because I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of these duelist main content creators coming online and spewing a bunch of lies. It's not the way they, okay, their perspective is, and I'm going to just say it, okay, dog, there was no Invisible Woman that touched your 5-hit almost dead hero and healed him back to full with one hit. Sorry, Captain Coach, that is a fucking lie. What you probably didn't see, okay, was either the Jeff or the Gambit, probably the Gambit, that bounced the card over there and hit him a quick burst heal. That's what you didn't see. And you want to nerf that? You're not nerfing that. Okay, you want that to be nerfed? Well, then we're going to nerf down at your 5 hits down to 10 hits. How about that? Because that's how you balance a game, dog. It's not just one perspective. It's 3 perspectives. So in a team-based game with 3 different roles, guess what? They got to modify it for those 3 roles, not just you. And this isn't a personal attack. I'm just saying when he had said that during that last, major, video they had where he was talking about that, and I was looking like, so you want healing to be nerfed with this insane damage? You fell and bumped your head. You will not be able to escort a cart anywhere if the healing was nerfed without the damage being nerfed. You wouldn't even be able to take a point. You get hit 2 times and you are gone. Oh, well, they nerfed poke. That don't mean anything. If you want to nerf it, you got to nerf it all across the board to balance the game. And that's what they're not understanding, and that's what they're not admitting. So please, please, please do not listen to these duelist main content creators only. Get you a very wide variety perspective. Hell, don't even just go off of what I say. And I welcome people to that. Please educate yourself and get all perspectives before forming an opinion. Especially for this game. Devil Dinosaur is just fine. Y'all will be all right. Stop hating. This has been a fun one. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip.